how times have changed. The top picture, I don't know how many of you recognize this guy. This is Liberace. Liberace is an American, was an American performer. He started off as a very promising child piano prodigy, and then he decided that he didn't want to play classical music so much. He wanted to be a real showman, and he put up the most glittering kinds of concerts or performances. He would fly in with, with wings, and he would have more jewels than the Queen of England on his fingers. I mean, this was the Liberace. Now, Liberace sued a newspaper, which an English newspaper actually, which ran an article. I'm afraid I didn't get the actual quotation. Do I have the actual quote here? No, I don't have the actual quote. Which basically, to cut the long story short, it's actually very colorful. This, right? Saying that suggesting that he is a homosexual at the end of the day, and this suit succeeded as defamation, right? In other words, if the 2 points here, one is that the courts at the time the suit was taken up, which was in the 1970s, right, acknowledged that if you impute that somebody was a homosexual, that is defamatory. In other words, you have lowered him in the estimation of right-thinking members of the public, right? He won £8,000, which is, and he came up with that famous line, right, which gets repeated every now and then. I was crying all the way to the bank, right? And that came from Liberace, all right? He died in 1986, 87 of AIDS. Jason Donovan, still very much alive. I think you know this guy, singer, and he too sued an English newspaper, all right, again for a whole series of articles which suggested that he was homosexual, right? Again, same story. So I drew these two parallels, and he sued them for two elements. He said that one, you are saying that I'm homosexual and therefore that's defamatory. Two, because I have previously stated that I am not a homosexual, and you have indicated that I am, you are also defaming me by suggesting that I'm a hypocrite. Right? In other words, I don't tell the truth. And he won, right, £200,000 in damages. But his fans were asking him, how can you possibly say that if people think you were homosexual, that's defamatory? And he issued a statement to say, yes, I agree but I'm only suing them for the hypocrisy part. So I'm going to waive my £200,000 in damages. So it just goes to show you that things do change over time, perceptions do change. There is nothing that is written in stone. And to a large extent, it is up to the courts to determine if that is the case. Now, I do not know, right, if a similar case like this appeared in our courts, what is the likelihood of the courts holding the way they did in Liberace's case, or otherwise, right? This is something that's left open. We don't know. Now, how do we go with the words? How do we construe the words? In order for you to determine if somebody has made defamatory remarks, right, you go first by the natural, ordinary meaning of the words, right? Now, sometimes, and very often, it is not so simple as just talking about the natural, ordinary meaning of the words, because the words themselves, I mean, journalists are usually a clever lot. They will not tell you in your face if they thought you were an idiot, right? They would impute it in some way. And therefore, the court said, not enough to just look at natural, ordinary meaning of the words. We want to look at innuendo. We want to look at implications, imputations. And the high water point of this must be the two cases taken out against J.B. Jeyaretnam in 1986 and 1987. If you all will recall, 1996 was the year of the general election, a very contested one in Chengshan. And among other things, there was a candidate of the Workers' Party known as Tan Yang Hong. Tan Yang Hong, right, in the run-up to his candidature, had been labeled by the PAP stalwarts as a Chinese chauvinist, anti-Christian Chinese chauvinist. I can't remember what else they added to the equation, right? And he basically said, I will sue you, but not now, after the elections. I will sue you because I am not Chinese chauvinist and I'm not anti-Christian. Now, what then happened was Tang Yang Hong lodged a police report alleging that Goh Chok Tong and a number of his cabinet and party members had made these accusations against him. Now, there's really nothing wrong in making a police report because there is the Defamation Act, and there is both criminal defamation as well as civil defamation, by the way. In other words, if we decide to go on the criminal route, allowing the police to prosecute you for defamation, I mean, the sentences are not very serious. It could be fined, I think it's about $5,000, right? But it is a criminal thing. So if I make a report, say that these guys have acted in a way which is wrongful, I think that would have been within his right to do so. Anyway, he filed two police reports, and in the one of the election rallies, J.B. Jeyaretnam flashed these two reports. I mean, he didn't really flash it. He waved it around. We don't know exactly whether he was waving those reports or just pieces of paper, but he was waving it around and he said, I have in my hands here, all right, police reports filed by Mr. Tang Yang Hong against, you know, Mr. Goh Chok Tong and his people, right? And he was then sued for defamation. Now, both of them were sued for defamation. One, in the case of Tang Yang Hong, right, the argument went that by you making a police report against me, you are saying that I'm a liar, and therefore you have defamed me, right? And therefore, right, amounts to defamation, $8 million damages. The case of J.B. Jeyaretnam, they said by waving those police reports around, he is immediately, now take note that neither Tang Yang Hong nor J.B. Jeyaretnam issued the actual contents of the police report. It was Goh Chok Tong who released it the next day to the press. So, yeah, very strange, yeah, I know. As they say in Alice in Wonderland, curiouser and curiouser. And in this case here, they said by waving it around, you are suggesting that the Prime Minister and his people have done something wrong. Otherwise, why would the police need to investigate them? Defamation. In the High Court, before Justice Rajendran awarded damages 20,000, right? Jeyaretnam was supposed to pay. On appeal, 100,000 for waiving a police report. So one would have thought that justification. In other words, one of the defenses for defamation, as I show you afterwards, is justification. If I'm telling you the truth, did Tang Yang Hong file a report? Yes, he did. Are these the reports? Yes, they are. And I tell you, these are the reports filed by Tang Yang Hong. I mean, is there something wrong with that? They say no, he should have really considered the implications, the innuendo that he was sending out, especially in the heat of a political campaign. Okay? In most other countries, in the heat of political campaign, we loosen the law, we relax the law. Here, it becomes, you know, suddenly all the more tight. So, there you have it. Justifications, defenses. Number one, as I pointed out, justification. If I'm telling the truth, then of course you can't sue me, even if I have succeeded in lowering you in the estimation of the eyes of the right-thinking public. Secondly, fair comment. Fair comment is a little bit more difficult sometimes because what is fair? Now you can make a comment. In other words, I can take A and B and put it together and I make a conclusion out of it, right? presumably 1 plus 2 should equal something close to 3 lah, right? But if you